everyone. Here's another Joyful Vessel moment. Worship isn't simply an event or a place, it's an orientation, it's a way of life. It's the result of our decision to exalt God above everything else. We realize and acknowledge that God is truly great and worthy of all praise. One of the major benefits of worship is that when we draw near to God, He draws near to us. This is why worship is crucial to the life of a believer. If we don't worship God on a regular basis, we won't sense His closeness and we won't know which way to turn when trouble comes. We won't enjoy free, peace-filled lives because we won't be in tune with His Spirit. But when we do worship God regularly, we learn how to walk each day in the light of His grace and unconditional love. Israel learned the importance of worship in the desert, where they were prepared by God to enter the promised land. They carried the altar of God with them. When they stopped to make camp, they began by setting up the altar and the surrounding tent. They didn't wait until the Sabbath to worship. They realized the importance of worshiping the one who held their lives fast within His hands. Do you have the same attitude towards worship? God doesn't need us, but we definitely need Him. The one place where you can learn the most about God's infinite love and care for you is in times of worship. God will sometimes test the depth of your devotion to Him. In Genesis chapter 22, He tested Abraham's faith beyond anything imaginable. The Lord instructed Abraham to offer his son Isaac as a sacrifice. For a moment, draw this parallel in your mind. God sent His own Son to earth and willingly offered Him as a sacrifice for our sins. Was God's request of Abraham a foreshadowing of what would come? Perhaps. At any rate, Abraham was willing to obey God no matter what. He didn't talk back, make excuses, or turn away from God. He just obeyed, knowing in his heart that the Lord would provide the right sacrifice. When they had reached their destination, Abraham spoke with words of faith as he told his servants, "I and the lad will worship and return to you." Then, when it came to the actual moment of sacrifice, God stopped him. "Abraham, do not stretch out your hand against the lad, and do nothing to him. For now I know that you fear God, since you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me." God didn't want Abraham to harm his son. He was just checking Abraham's devotion. How often have you faced a difficult situation and thought, "Lord, you can have anything, but please, just don't take," you fill in the blank. In this situation, Abraham would have filled the blank with the name of his son Isaac, the answer to the promise God had given him years earlier. Are you withholding something from God? A relationship, a dream, idea, or pursuit? Worship begins in the heart. Therefore, always be willing to obey the Lord by letting go of anything you deem more valuable than your relationship with Him. When you do, His goodness and mercy will be poured out in abundance for you. Worship the Lord, and He will bless you in ways far greater than you can imagine. God bless.